I said she grabbed my hand, girls ran through met the bar, witness said tears fled the head, I'm waiting, I guess she tweet, I guess she confessed, she thinking less, not drinking less, bathroom says, best against spontaneous, I stereotype, put to rest tonight, imagine, believe, and achieve, it works, Skyrim as a rise like fireworks, smell.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to After the Storm. I'm your host, Matt Clark. We're going to talk about the Thunder and Kings game tonight. Man, it's been nice having SGA back for the last three games, hasn't it? And he's just been ridiculous. 32, 35, 37. I mean, he's just been magnificent. And, tonight 12 of 16 shooting, 3 for 3 from 3. He's just, I think that those games that he missed, I think that helped him tremendously. A, it got him refreshed for the stretch run. B, it gave him a chance to get more familiar with watching his team and see who gets the ball where do they like the ball, what are the deficiencies, what does he need to do to be our leader to get us where we've got to go. And I think that, him sitting on the sidelines has made a huge difference. So hopefully when Dort comes back and Robertson Earl comes back and Giddey comes back, that they'll all be able to have the same effect on the team once we get fully loaded. But, it was a good game. But, we started the game, and our starting lineup was SGA, Mann, Roby, Wiggins, and Bazley, which not a bad lineup. You guys know how I feel about SGA and Mann and Wiggins, and I think Roby, he's just young and he does have some ability, but he needs to work on some things in the off season. And Bazley is just Bazley. But anyway, I wanted us to my keys for us tonight were simply to finish at the basket. We need to keep them in front of us on defense because we don't really match up that well with them. So I think it's very important that we did that. The thing is that we can't settle for threes, which we've done an excellent job at the last probably 7-8 games, cutting down on our threes, not just looking to do those. It's made a huge difference, I think, with us and what we're doing. But with SGA back, it allows us to score more in the paint because he attacks the basket so much more, which creates it. Once he starts going, it creates so many more opportunities for everybody, and it takes the pressure off everybody, which I think now when Josh gets back and when Dort get back, I think it'll help them get in their roles a lot easier because they're not forced to try to do things that they're not capable of doing. And every time we have players do that, and I've talked about this many times, it just gets the Thunder in trouble. So, but anyway, we need to protect the paint by committee, by everybody coming over. And SARS, I thought, did a good job tonight of trying to come over. And he got some foul trouble. He just doesn't move his feet well enough yet at this point. But he is getting better at that. And I think that the more he plays, the more time he gets, the better he's going to become. And he possibly could be that rim protector that we're desperately needing. Desperately needing. And then then SGA just got to continue to make everybody's life easier. Because once he gets going and he starts rolling, then you can see everybody else just plays a little looser. They don't have to force shots. They don't have to throw up shots. We don't have to worry about scoring 14 and 19 points in a quarter because we got somebody who can go out and get 14. And he had 14 in the first quarter. With the Thunder, we were 4 for 8 from 3 to start the first quarter. To end the first quarter. SGA was 2 for 2. The rest of the team was 2 for 6 with 3 air balls. From the two guys that we're supposed to be the shooters, and the reason why they're out there is to shoot the basketball and 1 shot, 2 air balls, 1 shot, 1. So I'm not sure exactly what that's all about, but, the Thunder were down 32-35. And, even though we were down, I thought we played pretty good. I was really happy with what I saw in that first quarter overall. We got some ticky-tack calls going to the basket, but that'll happen. The team that's aggressive will get the calls 90% of the time. And, we only had 1 foul with, probably 4 minutes to go, and all of a sudden they went boom, boom, boom because they started calling ticky-tack stuff because our big men weren't moving their feet and they started reaching in. But before that, we were doing a good job of staying in front of them, and then they closed us out there in the first quarter. And they did a good job with that. And then the second quarter, we started with Maladon, Puku, Crakey, Waters, and SARS, which is, whatever. I'm like, okay, well, who's going to score? Because there was only one person that had even 2 points out of that starting lineup. Nobody had scored other than Kreshke. He was the only one. He had 2 points. Nobody else out of that whole group had any points. So I'm just like, what's the deal? And then guys are trying to, they see how SGA goes to the basket. He's long. He uses his arm. He uses his body. And then he does the nice release. Now everybody's trying to do that. Well, you're not him. And he hadn't just came up with that move. He's been doing that for a while. Poku, you try to come in and you try to do that move. Well, bro, you're just starting. You got to perfect that in practice. Then you come out and you try to make that move. But you can't come out in the game and all of a sudden think, okay, I'm going to come up and I'm going to make this move, that move. It doesn't work that way, bro. You got to work on it in practice because you're not skilled enough to be able to do what he does, and you're not him. So you got to come up with your own game. What works for you just because somebody else does it doesn't mean it's something that you can do yourself. So you have to really watch that. And then the second thing is just please, guys, don't do more than you're capable of. Work on what works for you. Like I tell my players, whatever, you have to work on the things that are successful for you. Just because this works for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You got to come up with your own game. You got to get to your own spot. You got to understand what my shots are from three. What jump shots do I have? What pull-ups do I have? What teardrops? What floaters? What reverses? However I do. Like Terrence Mann tried to come in and he made a nice move in reverse, but you could tell it's not something he did very often, and he short-armed it. And I tell my kids, reverses are always high. You want to release them up and high so that it hits and put the little spin on it so the ball hits and comes down softly, which you get, if you watch SGA and his reverses, he throws the ball up nice and high. And remember, you have 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 7 foot coming across that are athletic and can get off their feet. So you have to do that. And the thing is this, all of a sudden, the second quarter, stay in attack mode. Attack, attack, attack. Poco goes to the basket and he tries to kick it out. Well, that's what Josh Giddey does. Once they realize that you're going to pass every time you dribble, or every time you drive to the basket, they're not going to respect your shot. They're going to get their hands in the passing lane, which is what happened in the second quarter. They're going to get their hands on the ball. So what do? You have to watch that. But on the other hand, the Thunder did a magnificent job on defense. We did a great job of holding them back and not letting them get easy baskets, not letting them get out in transition. We made some turnovers and got some balls ourselves and got in transition and got some easy baskets. And with 5:15 to play, he made a substitution. It was 48-46, and he went to the three-guard offense. Once again, 2 minutes too long this time, coach. You hadn't done that in a while, but you kept the guys in there 2 minutes too long, and then you went to a three-guard rotation. That did not work. They went boom, 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 and busted on us. I mean, I don't know what that was. I'm sure you were trying it to see if that was work, but you had Maladon, Mann, and SGA all in there at one time with no big. That wasn't going to work. Our offense, I understand the thought process, but our offense does not work like that. You can't go that. You can't do that. And, but we did hold them to 24. In the second quarter, we had 27. And what do? Our defense gets better and better and better, always. That's usually what we do. First quarter, we give up give up points because we're trying to figure out what they're going to do. Second, third, fourth quarter, we usually clamp down, take away the things that they need to do or that they want to do and force them to do something else. And the Thunder have been very, very good at doing that over the last 2 months or so of the season. So the second quarter, threes, Oklahoma City was 2 for 9. They were 1 for 8. So we went from shooting 60% in the first quarter, okay? They shot 55%. Second quarter, we shot 46%. They shot 50%. We were 6 for 17 total for threes. They were 5 for 18. Now, what happened? Once again, we're missing shots at the rim. We have to be able to finish, and we can't finish. Whatever reason, Thunder are horrible at finishing. But at least we're getting more close-range shots versus shooting threes. Every time we turn around, we're shooting threes, and we're doing a very good job of cutting down on that and not selling for threes but attacking the basket. But then now we're kicking it out. Finish at the basket. Learn how to shoot a floater. Learn how to shoot a teardrop. Do something that you can make an easy, nice little release. You don't follow through. You keep your hand flat. You let the ball go up soft. It has 4 or 5 or 6 little revolutions of the basketball. It will hit nice and soft on the rim and give you a better chance to go into the basket instead of trying to do finger rolls and things like that. So anyway, 32-35 to go in the second quarter. They outscored us or excuse me, we outscored them by 3. So going into the fourth quarter or third quarter, 59 all. Thunder did a great job of closing out. We did a great job of defense. And the whole thing is, like I said, the Thunder are excellent at giving up a lot of points in the beginning and then cutting off what they want to do and make them go to the second, third, fourth option. And not every team can do that. And they had a hard time adjusting to what we were doing to them and making them uncomfortable doing what they want to do, and we were forcing them to do what we wanted to do. And I talk about this all the time. You always want to force teams to do what you want them to do, not what they want to do. You got to impose your will on them. Don't let them impose your will on you. And so anyway, Thunder did a good job of that in the second quarter. We come out in the third quarter, and of course, Wiggins hurt his ankle. So we went SGA, Mann, Baisley, Roby, and Krecky. It's just frustrating for me because, with the people that we have hurt, it's just so hard for us to play guys that are supposed to be shooters and they're not scoring. Well, if you're not scoring, you're not going to defend, so you can't play. You don't need to be out there. You need to be sitting down. If you're not going to knock down threes for me, and that's why you're there. You can't defend nobody. We know this. So, why are you there? If you're not going to be hot, you're not knocking down shots, then, you always have those shooters. And, what coaches do, if a guy comes out and he's not hot, come sit him down because he's going to kill me on the defensive end, and I can't be giving up easy baskets, getting guys out of position, getting guys in foul trouble because this guy can't keep anybody in front of me. So the Thunder got off to a great start. We were doing everything we needed to do. Got started off with a 9-0 run, doing all the little things that we needed to do. We were playing good defense. We were getting our hands in the passing lane. We were not allowing them to get to the basket. We were forcing them to kick the ball out. And then first half, really, they were knocking down threes. So we got a chance to get out, or they were knocking down mid-ranges. We stopped all that. And that's how we got out to a 9-0 lead. Plus, SGA was on fire doing what he wanted to do, getting to the basket whenever he wanted, as usual. And that's what we're doing. We're getting a bunch of easy baskets in transition because of our defense. Then SGA gets to rolling with his hesitations, and he's so smooth and so he's really deceptive in the way he moves. He's a lot like Luka. They look like they're going in slow motion, but they're really not. They're just very patient, and they're very deliberate in their movements to the basket, which throws defensive players off a little bit, but they can finish at the rim. And but I love it when our team's in attack mode. When we're attacking the basket, coming downstream or coming downhill, it makes a huge difference with our scoring and what we can do defensively and everything else. And I love it when we're playing aggressive and going to the basket, but at the same time, guys, you got to make shots. You got to make shots. Okay, so that being said, we still have an issue rebounding the basketball off free throws. It cost us a game, and now we got on that run, and they came back on us. SGA got in foul trouble, and with 3:58 to go in the third quarter, we were up 81-78 when he got his fifth foul. And for whatever reason, Coach D left him in the game, and he did not pick up his sixth, and I say that. But the whole flow of the game changed. They went on a 19-9 run to end the quarter, and he had 28 points with 5 fouls when that happened. And it's simply because you didn't pull him out, you left him in. Well, that changed the dynamics of what we're doing because he can't be aggressive because he can't afford to pick up a charge. He can't really play defense like he normally does because he doesn't want a reaching foul. So by leaving him in there, I understand what you were doing, but on the other side of that, you can't leave the guy in there. You have to take a chance. And he was leaving him in there to hopefully say, okay, I can finish you out. He's telling Coach, I'm not going to create a sixth foul. We've all said that if you played ball before, hey, Coach, don't worry about it. I can do this. I'm not going to. Well, it still changes how you play. You can't be as aggressive. You can't do all the things that you were doing before simply because you now have 5 fouls and you're only a foul away from leaving the game. And if you foul out in the third quarter, Thunder's over. So they went on a 19-9 run to end the quarter. It just completely got us out of sync. I'm not sure why he did that, but, whatever. SGA talked him into it, leaving him in the game. Who are you going to come off the bench with? You got Maladon, you got Man. You can keep them in there, but let's face it. Man is still a rookie, so he's going to be up and down. He's going to have 11 this game, 22 this game, 25 this game, 6 this next game. He's a rookie, so he's going to be up and down. So at the end of the third quarter, the Thunder score was 90-99. We were down 9. Okay, they outscored us 40-31. And it's simply because of that run at the end of the game, or at the end of the quarter, that made all the difference. They had 21 points with 3 minutes and 58 seconds left in the third quarter. And they went on a 19-9 run and ended up scoring 40 in the quarter. You cannot give up 40 points. You cannot give up 40 points. And they went up shooting 57%. So the first quarter, they shot 55. Second quarter, they shot 50. Third quarter, they shot 57. Can't. And all of that was at the end. That 19-9 run. It really solidified what they wanted. It cost us the ball game, I believe, at that point. So we go into the fourth quarter down 90-99. Thunder needed to do what? You got to get stops. You got to keep them in front of you. You got to get stops. Like we went on a 9-0 run to begin the third quarter. You got to do the same thing. You got to get stops. You got to stop them. The difference is you're starting your B team, your second group, not your first group. So they got to get stops. We got to drive into the basket. We're trying to kick it out. Turnover. You can't do that. And the Thunder are 30th in assists. 30th. Can't get that done. Why? Because guys are not finishing, and guys can't score when they get the open shots. That's why you're 30th. You're passing the ball, you're making the plays, but if guys can't finish at the rim and they can't score either on the perimeter, you're going to be 30th in the league in assists. It's not rocket science. But SGA had an amazing game, had 37, 12 of 16. He did everything he could do, but we just don't match up with them when we don't have Dort, you don't have Robinson Earl, you don't have Giddey, and you don't have Williams. You don't match up with them when you put out the lineup you have to put out there. They're just a different now. They've been terrible against other teams, but against us, in all sports, it's about matchups. Football, basketball, baseball, doesn't matter. It's about matchups. Some teams you match up with, and you can just handle no matter how much better they are than you athletically or talent-wise on paper or whatever. If they don't match up well with your team, you have a chance to beat them. And we just don't match up well with the Sacramento Kings. And they just took advantage of us. And Sabonis was just very instrumental in just taking the paint, taking over, even though he found out they just did whatever they wanted. He can control the game. And they just absolutely killed us. But we don't match up well with them. And that was part of the issue with that. So, anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out to the game tonight to watch the Thunder. I thought, once again, we played pretty well. But that third quarter, those last 4 minutes just absolutely killed us. We didn't pull that shit out. They won in a 19-9 run. Game's over. But it's just nice having him back. And it'll be nice once we get all the way healthy again to where we have our whole complement of players out there. And SARS, I really like him. He's coming on. He's a 7-footer. He's athletic. He just needs some work. And we've got the guy, so let's, get him in the gym. Let's work him out all spring and summer once the season's over with and have him put some little weight on him if that's possible. But get him back to be a total different player and something that, some sort of rim protector, or go to college and get you a couple more skilled players that you can get there. But at least we do have a big and somebody in there that can help protect the paint, and that makes all the difference. But once again, I do love our team. We do have once we're healthy, we do have some good pieces, and we are very competitive, and we're not getting blown out. I mean, we lost tonight, no doubt. Okay? I mean, no doubt. You cannot give up 131 points to the Sacramento Kings. Okay? I mean, we did get blown out, but, 110 to 131. We ended up shooting 46%. They shot 56. You're not going to beat anybody giving up 50%, 56% field goal percentage. You're not going to beat anybody. But what happened, like I said, we don't match up with them well. We had a bunch of turnovers because we're driving to the lane, trying to kick it out. Everybody sees, okay, this guy's not going to shoot, this guy's not going to shoot, this guy's going to pass it. They have tape, just like we have tape. We're looking at the same film. They're looking at the same film. They know our weaknesses. We know their weaknesses. But they exploited them over and over and over in key situations. But that 19-9 run at the end of the third quarter just buried us. It just absolutely buried us. But anyway, the Thunder got to come back. Our next game, I think it's Wednesday night, is our next game at Denver against the Nuggets. So, hopefully we can bounce back and get something. And remember, you got to deal with that big fella, that the Joker they've got in the middle, who's just an absolute monster. So that ought to be a good game, but it's going to be at Denver. The Thunder has a chance to come back and just kind of look, what did we do wrong? And hopefully we can get Josh back or Dort back, somebody get some guys back and get a little healthier so we can end the season on a good upside note. So anyway, want to thank you for watching After the Storm, Thunder versus the Kings tonight. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and I appreciate all the support and all the love of people watching. Peace out. Everybody be safe.